Do big muscles make you slow and stiff? I think we've all seen clips where a big, muscular, strong guy is losing in a race to someone who weighs a lot less. And we've all seen comments on videos saying this guy is too bulky, too much muscle, he needs to lose weight. So this begs the question, can you have too much muscle? First to understand this problem, we start on the cellular level. We can see, looking into the cross-section of a muscle, we have a bundle of muscle fibers, and inside these muscle fibers, we have multiple sarcomeres, which contain actin and myosin chains, inside what we call the sarcoplasm. Each myofibril is surrounded by the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which gives it its calcium for muscle contractions, and glycolytic enzymes, and a bunch of other things. These calcium ions then bind to proteins on the muscle filaments, and this allows the filaments to slide past each other, and this sliding of filaments shortens the muscle, leading to a contraction. As the muscles contract, they generate force which is transmitted through the tendons to the bones, creating movement. In sprinting, ground contact times are typically brief, ranging from 0.2 to 0.08 seconds. During this short window, the muscles must rapidly generate and transmit force to propel the body forward. Sprint performance is largely determined by how much force an athlete can produce within this brief contact period. The first factor that we'll look at affecting force production is muscle architecture, or more specifically, pennation angle, which is the angle your muscle fibers make with the force generating axis. A study looking into the triceps brachii noted that as you increase muscle thickness, you also increase pennation angle. And what this means is there's a decrease in force transmission between the muscle and the bone. Now, bigger muscle fibers means more force generated, but a large pennation angle means less force transmitted, and so we see a trade-off between the two and a pennation angle where the overall effect peaks. Now, this could be extended to other muscles like the quadriceps or the hamstrings, which also have a pennated structure, and could hint at there being an optimal size for muscles in sprinting. Next up, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, a form of muscle growth that involves increasing the muscle volume of the sarcoplasm, which is the fluid with the muscle fibers, without necessarily leading to gains in strength or force production. In activities like sprinting, where force to weight ratio is crucial, excessive sarcoplasmic hypertrophy may result in an increased muscle size and weight without proportional gains in force production. Therefore, while some muscle growth is beneficial for sprint performance, focusing excessively on sarcoplasmic hypertrophy may not always translate to improved sprint abilities. On the other hand, Myofibril hypertrophy is another form of muscle growth that involves an increase in the size or number of myofibrils, which are the contractile units within muscle fibers. Unlike sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, myofibril hypertrophy primarily enhances strength and force production, making it relevant for sprinting. Now, while an increase in the sarcoplasm and an increase in the number of myofibrils can occur simultaneously, it's thought that there's an upper limit to the number of myofibrils that a muscle cell can hold, meaning that further hypertrophy will primarily be driven by an increase in the size of the sarcoplasm. In general, when training with specificity, muscle gained and muscle maintained through fast activities like sprinting and jumping likely has the correct composition for the task at hand. As long as we aren't training like a bodybuilder with high volume, in theory we won't see an excessive amount of sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. We also want the hypertrophy to occur in muscle groups that are specific to the actions, such as the glutes, which contribute towards hip extension, as opposed to performing something like a bench press, which will mainly cause hypertrophy in the pecs and triceps, which aren't particularly useful in sprinting. Now, I'll leave the question of whether these elite athletes, who run incredibly fast times already, are carrying too much muscle themselves, up to you guys in the comments.